Happy Friday, everyone. I am meteorologist Michelle Morgan, and we survived the cold weather this morning. Many locations fell below freezing, and we actually broke a record out in Central Florida. Of course, we'll go through all of that. The weekend forecast is looking pretty good, kind of a mixed bag. It'll be pleasant on Saturday, a little bit cooler on Sunday, all thanks to another strong cold front that will be pulling through the area. And then once again, things will turn dangerously cold as we head into our Monday morning. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Taking you outside, a gorgeous shot of the outdoors with plenty of sunshine, clear, crisp blue skies. The temperatures are now in the 50s across Central Florida, 53 in Kissimmee, 52 in Daytona Beach, out at the Orlando International Airport in the lower 50s, and 55 in Port Canaveral. So here's what you need to know. Here's a look at your weather headlines. So as I mentioned this morning, we broke and we were even near a few records. The weekend is looking good, but it will stay below normal. And then, as I said, it will be cold again heading into our Monday. So this morning, we saw our temperatures drop into the lower 20s in many locations. Paisley, you woke up to 23 degrees. Out in Ocala, 24. DeLand, 29 degrees. And Melbourne, 33, which actually broke a record. And Sanford at 31 degrees. The Villages even woke up in the 20s. So it was certainly chilly across Central Florida. So as we take a look at the morning lows and the records, so out in Melbourne, we saw our temperature start off at 33 degrees, and it broke a record, which was set back in 1983 of 34 degrees, which is very impressive. This type of cold, it is rare for Central Florida to see that Arctic air reach parts of our region, especially around this time of the year. Even though it is winter, it is hard for that colder air to move in, but it did it this morning and we broke a record. Temperatures here across the region, we are still in the 40s out in Gainesville. As we take a look at the Villages, you're at 54, 51 in Winter Haven, and upper 50s in Melbourne as well as Mico. Now the winds, they have slacked off significantly across the overnight hours. We are getting wind gusts between 5 to 10 miles per hour along our coastline, but you can see sustained winds very light, either at 0 or at 2-3 miles per hour. So we are dealing with lighter winds than what we were dealing with yesterday. Now, if you have any plans today, it is going to stay chilly. As we wrap up the afternoon hours, temperatures are expected to stay steady in the 50s all day. Thankfully, we won't be dealing with any rain, but we're in the upper 50s as we head into the 3 o'clock hour, 59 around 4. And then when the sun slowly sets, temperatures will begin to dip into the lower 50s around 8, and then 40s as we head into the overnight hours. So you're probably wondering if we will see cold temperatures as we head into tonight. Some locations will. We're looking at those overnight temperatures. We'll be near freezing in a few locations, but as you can see, your forecast highs here, normally we're at 72. We'll be 10 to 15 degrees below that across the region. We'll see a high of 61 in Titusville, 62 in Melbourne, 63 in Mico, 58 in Claremont and Leesburg, and 59 in Ocala. Now, tonight, it's Friday night. If you do have any plans, here's a look at your overnight temperatures. I am forecasting 32 degrees in Ocala, so right at that freezing mark. 36 in the Villages, 39 in Leesburg, 43 in Orlando, 42 in Sanford, and 39 degrees in Palm Coast. Now, many of us already wrapped up our plans. Cover them up. I would leave them covered for tonight, especially if you live across our northern counties, extreme northern counties. So that includes Marion, Flagler, parts of Volusia counties, and also Sumter counties. And I would keep my plans covered as well if you live in Lake County, because it is going to get quite cold across the region. Not as cold as this morning, but still very cold. Now, I do want to show you your weekend forecast because the weekend is shaping up pretty nice. Looking at a 50-50 split. So if you do have any plans tomorrow, we're looking good. If you had the opportunity to check out my 6 things to do, there's so many things that are happening across central Florida, and there are a few outdoor options. So if you are planning on heading out to any of those, we're looking at temperatures in the lower 70s tomorrow afternoon. We'll be starting off with plenty of sunshine, but a front is on the way, and that is going to begin to increase the cloud cover as we go through our Saturday afternoon. I'm not really expecting any rain quite yet. That's expected to come on Sunday, but clouds will continue to thicken across the area and overall looking at a pleasant day. And of course, if you want to check out my 6 things, you can head over to clickorlando.com. Just find the tab 6 things to do. And then on Sunday, we're looking at a few showers beginning to pop in and out across the region. Isolated showers. We're not looking at a widespread event and calling for a 40% coverage for that. They will be rather quick. And this will be right behind that frontal boundary. And then temperatures are expected to be in the lower 60s Sunday afternoon. So much cooler than Saturday. And the winds will pick up too across the region. So let's go ahead and talk about the setup here. So we are looking at a cold front moving in Saturday into Sunday morning. And you can see at that headline right there, it says Florida snow with a question mark, because a lot of models are kind of up and down if we could see another round of snow. Last year we saw some snow over northern Florida, and it is certainly possible where we could see some flurries, some snow over the panhandle due to the setup. So we'll have a frontal boundary move in. That's going to come with some precipitation. Temperatures looks to be cold enough where we could see some snow over parts of the panhandle. So zooming in, we're looking at potentially Tallahassee, Panama City, could see a little bit of that setup, Quincy, but more than likely seeing that snow over parts of Georgia there, staying south of Macon. So continuing to fast forward things here as we go through that time frame. Again, you can see this is Sunday morning. When that front continues to move through, isolated showers for us. We won't be near freezing. We will stay above freezing. So no snow for us here in Central Florida. And then going through the rest of your Sunday afternoon here, that's when we'll begin to feel that colder air move in. And the temperatures are expected to drop rather quickly. So let's go ahead and talk about the next weather maker. So this cold front will bring a number of things. Winds sustained out of the northwest between 5 to 15 miles per hour could potentially see gusts of 20 to 25 miles per hour. I'm sure many of us have already put away our outdoor Christmas decorations, but if you still have them out there, it is going to be another windy day. And especially if you are closer to the coastline, we're looking at Cocoa Beach, Melbourne Beach, Daytona Beach, any of those locations, it will be a windy Sunday for you. Scattered showers between 30 to 40%. And then Monday morning, we'll be waking up in the 20s and 30s. So we have another good shot of that cold blast heading our way. So if you're wondering how cold it could get, again, normally we're in the upper 40s. So we will be well below that as we start off our Monday morning. I'll start off with Marion County because the coldest air will be over that county, potentially waking up to 29 degrees in Ocala. Gainesville, 28 degrees, and the Villages, 29. I'll go ahead and expand it for a better look. And then Leesburg, right at that freezing mark at 32, Sanford at 34, and 33 degrees in Palm Coast. Brevard County, you all staying in the lower 40s, but again, it could get a little bit colder than what the models are showing. So just keep that in mind. You certainly want to make sure your plants are covered up if you haven't covered them up already last night. And, the pets. Don't forget the pets. Bring them inside. If you're cold, they are certainly cold. So want to make sure they're protected as well. And if you can't bring them in, make sure they have a warm shelter outside with plenty of food and water so they're nice and comfortable. And pipes. I think pipes will be just fine, even though we'll be falling in the upper 20s out in Marion County. This won't necessarily be a hard freeze. This morning, many locations were dealing with a hard freeze, but it will certainly be cold with those temperatures below freezing. And then Orlando and Kissimmee staying above freezing around 35, 36 degrees as we start off our Monday morning. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the wind chills because this is also very important. Again, the wind chills only applies to people. And if you are heading out early Monday morning, this is what it's going to feel like. Even though the winds are expected to die down some as we go through our Monday morning, it's going to feel like 23 degrees in Ocala, 22 in the Villages and Leesburg, 27 degrees in Orlando, 24 degrees in Sanford, and middle 20s in Daytona Beach and New Smyrna Beach, upper 30s in Cocoa Beach, lower 30s in Melbourne. Now, thankfully, the kids will be out of school on Monday, so they won't have to worry about the cold. But if you are heading out to work, make sure you are dressing appropriate for this weather. Now, the forecast highs on Monday will remain below average. We're looking at those highs in the upper 50s and lower 60s across the region. So it will, even though temperatures will be in the 50s, 60s range, we'll see plenty of sunshine. Any light winds will add a little bit more of a bite to the air. So just be prepared for that colder weather as we kick off the week next week. And then it'll also be very cold as we head into our Tuesday morning. Not as cold as Monday morning, but temperatures will be hovering over the freezing mark in Ocala and the Villages, 36 in Leesburg, 37 in Orlando, 38 in Sanford, and we stay in the upper 40s across the coastal spots here for many locations. But nonetheless, it is going to be another cold start to the morning, but I do have great news. Things will be on a warming trend after that as I show you your 7-day forecast. So we talked about today, we talked about the weekend, heading into next week, starting off very cold across the region. But by Wednesday, temperatures are expected to rebound nicely into the upper 60s. And Thursday is looking fantastic. Right back on schedule. Florida weather returns, and we'll see a mix of sunshine and clouds. The temperatures will be in the lower 70s. And then looking ahead after that, been taking a look at all the models, we might be close to 80 as we head into our Friday and that upcoming weekend. So stay warm. We still have another blast of dangerous cold heading our way. And of course, if you don't have our app, download it, our new 6 app, weather app. It is free. We are always updating it with the latest information. So I'm meteorologist Michelle Morgan. Thank you so much for joining me and have a good day.